and welcome back to another in-depth weather video. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another in-depth weather video. I am on the National Weather Service page, and we're going to be focusing again on the tropical systems, because today's the day. We're going to be seeing Hanna make landfall, we're going to be seeing Gonzalo either make landfall or at least impact the Windward Islands, and tomorrow we're going to see Douglas hit or impact Hawaii. The exact tracks of these three storms isn't super solidified, but we do know the general directions that they will be going. So we do have hurricane watches issued for most of the Hawaiian Islands, as well as one hazardous seas warning. And then, of course, we have in Texas, we have some tropical storm warnings, some hurricane warnings. Yes, hurricane warnings. This is Tropical Storm Hanna is expected to become a hurricane now. And we also have a few hazardous sea warnings in Louisiana, as well as some flash flood watches across Texas. Hanna it's a tropical storm now. It's going to be a hurricane. It's going to pack a punch. So we are going to be watching that tomorrow as that makes landfall. Now, I do want to go to first the radar, then we're going to move on to the satellite, and then we will move on to the models. So you can start to see Hanna in here. Not much else other than that. So just a quick update on the radar part of this. We'll see that start to come into the picture as we get into early tomorrow. So let's see at a picture of Tropical Storm Hanna. It is huge, really huge, and you could see how just gargantuan this storm is. We have impacts all the way from Texas into Florida. This thing is occupying the entire Gulf of Mexico. It is a beast. You would not expect this to just be a tropical storm right now, just based on the size of this storm. But it is an expansive storm, and we will be feeling those impacts in Texas. So let's move on to next up. Let's do Gonzalo, and then we'll finish off with Douglas. We'll go in order of impacts here, I guess. So Gonzalo, it's still small. It's still very small. We're really kind of seeing this kind of stay at that small size. It's had a lot of wind shear on it. It's not going to be a hurricane anymore, but the track has shifted a little bit. It's going to be more aiming toward Trinidad and Tobago now. So we have seen that trend a little bit further south. So let's finish this up with Hurricane Douglas, and then we'll move on to the National Hurricane Center. So Hurricane Douglas has weakened a little bit. It's going to get out of that major hurricane status close to when I'm filming this, definitely by the time you're watching this. So that is good news. It is moving into cooler waters, so it is going to continue to weaken. I think it peaked at 130 miles an hour. That is category 4. So this was an incredible storm. Nobody, at the beginning when this storm formed and I made the video on it, I did not expect this storm to get up to category 4. This is the first hurricane of the year in either the East Pacific or the North Atlantic. So I did not expect a major hurricane right off the bat, but the Pacific is due. They are very behind in their hurricane season, so very behind there. So let's move on here to, let's go back here to the National Weather Service page, and we will go to hurricanes. So that is the National Hurricane Center. So let's start here. Of course, we have Hanna, Gonzalo, and we'll talk about this disturbance here after everything. Let's start with Gonzalo's key messages. Gonzalo is forecast to bring tropical storm conditions to a portion of the southern Windward Islands Saturday and Saturday night. Tropical storm warnings are currently in effect for some of the islands. Interests in the southern Windward Islands should monitor the progress of Gonzalo and follow any advice given by local officials. Gonzalo is expected to produce heavy rain over portions of the southern Windward Islands. This could lead to life-threatening flash flooding. So let's go into more detail here. Let's do the warnings and cone. So we have tropical storm warnings in many islands: St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, and Tobago. Barbados was originally supposed to get hit and is now kind of not even in the picture here, but this is expected to stay a tropical storm through the Windward Islands and then get downgraded to a tropical depression. So this situation here has gone down. The threat here has gone down a little bit. We're not dealing with a hurricane anymore. That is good news. So let's move on to the wind speed probabilities. Actually, let's do that with the arrival time of winds. So the areas that are going to see the highest level of the highest chance of receiving tropical storm force winds is Trinidad and Tobago. Areas like St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada aren't supposed to see, they're going to be on the outskirts of this storm. This storm is very small, so it is most likely going to stay within this zone here. It probably might even stay inside this, even this green area here, with the tropical storm force winds. Very small storm, so not a lot of areas are going to be impacted. But we are still seeing that it is going to hit at least one of these islands. So either Tobago or Grenada, possibly St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but very unlikely. But that is, we're going to be seeing this start to roll in, those tropical storm force winds, possibly between Saturday at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. And then they should be out of here pretty quickly after the eye of the storm rolls through. Or at least the center of rotation, not really an eye. But let's move back into the home page here. Let's go to we have a lot to talk about with Hanna. So key messages: there is a danger of life-threatening storm surge along the Texas coast from Baffin Bay to Sargent, where a storm surge warning is in effect. Residents in these locations should follow advice given by local emergency officials. Hurricane conditions are expected along the Texas coast from Port Mansfield to Mesquite Bay, where a hurricane warning is in effect. Tropical storm conditions are expected to first reach the coast within the warning area Saturday morning. Hanna is expected to produce heavy rains across portions of southern Texas and northeast Mexico. These rains could result in life-threatening flash flooding and isolated minor to moderate river flooding. So wind speed probabilities, let's embed that here. Along most of the impacted areas, we're going to see this start to roll in Saturday 8 a.m. to Saturday 2 p.m. You're definitely going to be expecting some sort of tropical storm force winds in some of these areas. And let's see here. I don't know what these two circle things are about. They don't have a label. But we're expecting some sort of tropical storm force winds, at least over a 70% chance, and everywhere highlighted in red or purple. If you are highlighted in yellow or orange, that is 30 to 70%, and anywhere in green is lower than 30%. So, peak surge. We are now dealing with storm surge. So 1 to 2 feet from Sargent to High Island, 3 to 5 feet from Baffin Bay to Sargent, and 1 to 3 feet from mouth of the Rio Grande to Baffin Bay. U.S. rainfall potential. We could see 10 inches plus of rain. This is not going away anytime soon. A lot of this is going to be on the backside. The eye is going to roll through, and by dinner time tomorrow, we should be seeing the worst of the rain starting to push through. But this is a huge storm. It's going to be hanging around for a little bit. And we have an expansive rain field here. Areas from Florida to Mexico are going to be impacted with rain from the storm. But mainly we're going to be seeing this target zone right in here, southern Texas, northeastern Mexico. And let's just finish off with the warnings in cone. You can see the red is the hurricane warnings, blue is tropical storm warnings. You can see that expansive wind field right there. It's going to become a hurricane, and then once it moves on the coast, it'll downgrade to a tropical storm, move through Texas, and once it gets into Mexico, it'll weaken to a tropical depression, and eventually a post-tropical cyclone. Now, let's go back to here, and let's go to the key messages with Douglas. Douglas will continue to quickly approach the main Hawaiian Islands, passing dangerously close to or over the islands on Sunday. Dangerous, life-threatening surf will arrive ahead of the hurricane on Saturday. Heavy rain and increasing winds are possible on the Big Island starting Saturday night and can quickly spread up the chain Sunday. It is important not to focus on the exact forecast track due to Douglas' angle of approach to Hawaii. Any small changes in the track could lead to significant differences in where the worst weather will occur. The wind gusts near mountains and higher terrain can be significantly enhanced as they blow down slope. So I will get more into this storm tomorrow. I don't want to spend a lot of my time on it today, but we will be starting to see on the Hawaiian Islands some tropical storm force winds and other rain bands as well starting tomorrow. But the actual eye of the storm will be impacting, or at least passing, close to Hawaii Sunday. So I will have more information on Hurricane Douglas tomorrow's video. So let's move on to the forecast models. And I'm actually going to, I was going to do something with the ensembles, but I'm going to try and keep this video short. So we have Hanna right here. It's going to come on the coast, but you can see all the heaviest rain is on the east side. The west side isn't going to see much. The north and east sides is where the heaviest rain will occur. And this rain field is going to continue to be moving through Texas. This is Monday. So still more rain, and then it starts to clear out on Tuesday a bit. So the impact from the storm will be long. We're talking about, that kind of just glitched for me a sec. Alright, so we're going to be talking about the storm impacting Texas for days. At least 2 days. So this is going to be a very, very long storm, and the flash flooding is going to be absolutely tremendous part of the storm. Total accumulated precip, we can see just how monstrous this is. Looking at the heaviest rain being in the Brownsville area, up to 2 feet of rain there. That is, I think that's a little overstepping it, but it's definitely possible. It is definitely possible. So that's what I wanted to do with Tropical Tidbits. The European model shows about the same thing. We can see here. Yeah, it's showing about the same thing. So I'm not gonna do a lot with this. So that is the main talking points for today. Tropical Storm Hanna making an impact on Texas. Tropical Storm Gonzalo making an impact on the Windward Islands. Now, let's finish up. I do want to talk about the next invest. So let's head over there now. So the Atlantic. This new wave off of Africa now has a 50% chance of forming in 5 days. So, and that is expected to follow a very similar track to Gonzalo. So, possibly a little bit further north. But we're probably gonna see this thing form in the next 5 to 10 days. It's looking very likely these percentages keep tracking up. So that is what I just wanted to finish off on. So if you live in Texas, if you live in the Windward Islands, please pay attention to what your local officials are saying. If you're in an evacuation area, please do so. If you're just outside of that zone, use your gut. And if you don't feel safe, get out. It's better to be safe than sorry. So I will keep you updated on these storms, but I think by tomorrow these should be both through their impact areas, and I will keep you updated on Douglas. I will see you guys tomorrow in my next video.